Hey guys, this is Issues with Toddy One Skip. I am Toddy One Skip. You're not. I am. You are the one skippers by proxy. Therefore, you skip on 1 foot and 1 foot only, and if you fall over, you hop back up and start skipping again, and then you fall over and you do it again and again and again. We are the one skippers, but we get there. Guys, you know, I was watching 1980 Millenial commentates, so I really like that channel. And, you know, they're from Missouri. And they have a reason for being pissed off that their tax money is being, bothered or strained by idiocy, like people like Fancy, and bringing shit into Missouri and just not being very respectful for it. Let me guys, you guys have seen Fancy, yeah? And we've all seen Fancy unhinged, yeah? And Fancy carries a gun, she said, right? That's scary, right? Would you want that in your state? No. So, 1980 Millennial, she had family and stuff that knew the Blanchards. And she felt like there's something wrong here, but her family kept giving and giving and giving. Only, I think she feels to be made a fool. The only fools were the Blanchards, Dee Dee included. Listen, Dee Dee was a scam artist. She was a malingerer. She was taking advantage of the fact that Gypsy was sick. But she knew what was wrong with Gypsy. Gypsy had the microdeletion, which was the reason for all of her surgeries and all of her sicknesses. All of that was legit. So Munchausen by proxy, out the fucking window, Mike Stanfield, because Gypsy had legitimacy. And this baby, from my understanding that Gypsy's carrying, might have that legitimacy as well. So we're going to have to wait and see about that. I don't wish any harm on this kid that she's got. God knows I want an angel to be over this kid and look out for this kid. Listen, I don't think Dee Dee is a hero. But I honestly feel like I know that Dee Dee was probably more than likely the victim for many, many years. For many, many years. As soon as Gypsy was able to speak, I think that Dee Dee handed the throne over to her. I think that everything Dee Dee did was for her. I don't think what Dee Dee did was right. Please understand that I don't think that what Dee Dee did was right. And I think Rod could have stepped up to the plate. And I think Christy could have had a little bit more compassion and said, shit, what would it be like if it was me? And maybe shown a little bit more grace. But the worst one is Gypsy. So while Fancy is complaining again about what happened or didn't happen at this vigil, memorial, protest that she didn't go to, but that pink pony spent the time, energy, and probably some resources of her own to get there because she took a plane there, and she made a difference. And for her to say, what did you do? What did it matter? Well, the sisters of Dee Dee Blanchard said, thank you, Pink Pony, thank you for showing up and doing this for my sister. This was the first step, okay? It was the first step. And now we know not to include Fancy in anything, because as soon as there's the littlest bit of anything going wrong, Fancy's ready to get on another panel and start bitching about the panel she just left. And that's what she does, right? But Fancy's full of giving advice, but couldn't manage to make it to her court date.
If you watched the short I posted earlier about Fancy's warrant, when I first saw it on CaseNet, my first thought was, well, could this be a mistake by the court? Fancy's known about this forever. Surely she wouldn't dismiss it. Well, she did, and let's listen to her reason.
Hey guys, it's Fancy, and I just wanted to come on here and clue you in on what happened this morning, because I know a lot of you are going to be talking about it. So around 7 o'clock this morning, I got up. I had some issues this morning. I had an episode, and I got ready for court. I sat down on my couch to wait for court because it was still so early. I must have dozed off and I missed my court date by 30 minutes this morning. When I did come to and wake up, I realized what had happened. I tried to contact the clerk of the court, who was still in session with Judge Lemer, and she informed me that it was too late. He took my case up at 8:30 this morning, and he issued a warrant for my arrest with a $1,000 cash only bond.
Oh my God, y'all, this is a court date, not a high school test. And she's coming in with this high school excuse. I fell asleep? What on earth?
My attorney was apparently there, which I don't understand why, if my attorney was there, we could not just plead not guilty and set the trial date, because that's all we were doing today.
Oh, you don't understand? That's weird, because you understood perfectly why a warrant got issued with Sarah when she didn't appear, even though her attorney did.
So I have still not, as of today, the 30th of October, this has been going on since June 11th, have not spoken to my attorney, my public defender, one time.
Yeah, that public defender has seen the letters you sent to the court, seen all the motions you tried to file, seen the way that you filed a false police report and then turned on Sarah. He's probably also seen the videos that you made about the judge and about the DA, and he does not want anything to do with you.
Not one time. I have numerously called him. I have gone and emailed him several times. I emailed the director. I told the judge.
Keep in mind, the judge that she's referring to when she says, I told the judge, is the same judge that she brought up in the video where she accused DA Warren, the district attorney on this case, of being the person who assaulted Sarah, which she now says never happened.
Told the prosecuting attorney that I have never, ever spoken to my public defender that has been assigned to me. I don't know why we have had so many continuances, considering that it is the same thing every time.
I can tell you why. It's because you changed your story multiple times, accused the court of corruption, accused the DA of corruption, accused the DA of being the person who assaulted Sarah before you said Sarah wasn't assaulted, and then offered to cooperate with that DA against her. How could they do anything but keep making continuances with all the bullshit you throw at them? Fancy, good God. In fact, here's some proof of what I just said in this screen recording. If you look, you can feel free to pause to read. Every continuance happens after Fancy files some letter, a motion, a correspondence, whatever, and they kind of stopped after she got a public defender, but now she has a warrant for arrest because she couldn't wake the fuck up for court.
You know, I think that it's a lot of nerve to challenge other creators when you are so at fault. The narrative that's out there about Dee Dee, you helped put out there, Fancy. So if I were you, I'd be making videos over and over and over and over and over again to correct that narrative, because you're part of that. You're part of that. So in the meantime, you got people flying over to Louisiana, and you don't like the way they protest, but yet you got something to say about it when you're on Morbid's panel, which, by the way, panels like Morbid are very important, because that's where content creators can get together and discuss things in a respectful fashion, unless you're somebody like Fancy who doesn't know the first thing about it. Guys, I want you to listen to some of this, because it's just, it really is. It's off the wall. It's disrespectful. Fancy just wants it to be about Fancy. Fancy, when it was about you, you fucked it up, eh? You fucked it up. You sold us the wrong narrative. You have the same information that you had before. You didn't check. And you bitch at other people. You didn't check your sources. You didn't check your material. Guys, let's listen to this. Let's listen.
Rogi's head is disturbing.
Guys, who just said that? Who said Rogi's head is disturbing?
Rogi's head is disturbing.
Because I think that's Fancy. Am I wrong?
Rogi's head is disturbing. Rogi's head is disturbing.
I think that Fancy already said there was a glare when Morbid pointed out Rogi. So here's somebody who's making fun of somebody. You can't have it both ways. And I'm pretty sure she said something as well about Bree's fingers, like sausage fingers or something. So is it because Nina's jokes were funnier? I mean, I'm trying to understand what the problem is, because if you have a problem making fun of people, or people around you making fun of people, and I do, but, you know, I saw what they did to Nina, and I wouldn't have let that go. So, but you're bringing up shit for no reason, Fancy, except because I guess when you're around people, you validate yourself. I wonder what it's like when you're alone at night, when the lights are out, when it's just you with your thoughts. I just wonder what it is that you think about, because you being part of this community is now dangerous and poisonous. See, you say that none of this mattered. Dee Dee's sisters say different. There's a YouTube channel with 343,000 subscribers that are talking about the event, that are bringing attention to the new dialogue, the new narrative that you got wrong. So I think that this made a huge difference. I think the problem is that you didn't do it. That's the problem. You are bashing people the same way you are saying that there are people bashing people about the way they look. Yet I think it is you that says that his head is disturbing. That's disturbing. Why? At least Nina had proof, showed receipts of how she was bullied, how she was targeted for being black, for being a big black woman. That's what they did. Because that's what it looked like to me, too. That's what it looked like to me, that they picked on her because they didn't like the color of her skin and because she was a bigger woman. But Nina's 1,000,000% right. I don't care how big you are. It's the way you present. And Nina has class. And I think I have a whole community of subscribers here that say the same thing about Nina. And then somebody brought up Becca. And somebody brought up Becca and said, somebody who's such a high-tech, isn't allowed to be human? Isn't allowed to have an opinion? Isn't allowed to have her own feelings hurt? What should Becca be? Because, when she puts her videos, she's very to the point and very easy to follow, very informative. But when she reacts on a panel and says something to defend Nina, she's a bad person. And I even heard her say, you know what, Nina, I don't blame you. You know what I mean? But Fancy, when you get back at people that you think did you wrong, it's okay. But it's not okay for these people to do it. Why? Who gives you the right? Who says you're correct? Who needs your permission? That's the question. And when you do shit like this to something that was an event because you didn't like the result of that event, who gives a fuck? Who cares? This thing has started something. Let it go. Don't get in the way. You are like that stick.
I cannot go any closer on this sidewalk because I'm a perceived threat.
What's their proof on that? Well, I mean,
That's what I said. Perceived threat, how? Nobody will answer any questions. They just completely surrounded me. And the bookstore woman put her hand in my face and was acting like she was going to grab my phone and all types of craziness.
I know Justice Junction is there.
Yes.
I don't know if
I think it's one of their friends, though. I talked to her earlier. I think it's her friend, and she's just posting their content because her platform is bigger. I don't know if you can see the shining bald head over the silver SUV across the street, but that's Rogie and Bree standing over there.
Stop.
And you're a threat.
Oh,
and you're a threat to the person that proudly says they carry a pew-pew with them everywhere they go.
Oh, he's waving at you like a jackass.
Yeah, I know.
Let me see if I could zoom in. Since you can't, let me see.
Oh, I can see Bree from a mile away. You're alone. I feel so bad that you're alone.
No, I'm good.
I know, but still.
Huh.
I feel so bad. I do not like that you're out there by yourself, Pink Pony. That's not good.
Yeah, that's not cool. They can't kick you out of there.
Yeah, that was crazy. I mean, honestly, I haven't even had a second to process what just fucking happened, but that was weird as fuck.
That was weird.
You literally did nothing wrong. You did nothing wrong. You were.
That's what I'm saying. I was sitting there minding my own business.
In fact, Rogie and them are the ones that. put out
Yep.
threads.
Monkey's head is disturbing.
It just-
Monkey's head is disturbing.
It just-
Monkey's head is disturbing.
It just goes to show how scared Gypsy was going into this event, that she had everybody on high alert for I mean, and you did nothing wrong.
Nothing, dude. I was not in there, harassing anybody, doing anything strange.
You're important.
Guys, I want you to understand why I'm so upset, because this was a success. This thing that happened here was a success. It was something that was positive, that Fancy turned around and made negative, and made these innuendos or these accusations that perhaps the money that was raised from Morbid wasn't given to Pink Pony. And I mean, she brought that up. My last video, I got that clip. So come on. This is something that she turned into something so negative by the comments that she made, and then turned around and made more. So what is it? Is it just because, Fancy, it wasn't about you? Because you need to see somebody about that. You know what I'm saying? Guys, this is Issues with Toddy One Skip. What do you think? I mean, seriously. This is somebody that's part of the true crime community. I'm not saying, to cancel her, but how does that work? How does that work when you are on a panel to do something and you say that you do want to make a difference? You want things for Dee Dee. You want something for Nick. Really? Not this way. Not this way. There's so much that is so wrong and so bad about the whole scenario, as far as Gypsy and her telling lies and what's going on with Nick and what happened with Dee Dee and all that. So to focus on and pick on what somebody should have done or didn't do or what have you, when it definitely brought awareness, there was definitely rumblings. It was a success in everybody's eyes except yours. What did they do? They brought attention. Bigger channels picked it up. Lifetime knew that they were there. What they did was better than not doing anything. But what you are doing is taking away from what they did. And that's shitty. That's just shitty. Alright guys, this is Issues with Toddy One Skip. Don't forget, be better today than you were yesterday. Not half as good as you'll be tomorrow. Always be kind. I'll see you in the comments. And hopefully at 2 o'clock today, Eastern Standard Time, to continue reading my interpretation of Gypsy Rose's fiction book. Time for me to stand so that I could push her. Bye.
Thank you.
What's up, Ann? Show us your side.
Well, don't let it blow away. There we go.
Wait, Ann's not allowed to go
I
there?
love it. I love it.
Perfect.
Justice for Dee Dee.
That's all you need to
Oh, thank you.
Love it. Love it. Love
That's
it.
beautiful.
Yeah.